artificial sun. Hello, my name is Rue. R-U-E. Rue as in those little yellow flowers, about as wide as your pinky. Rue as in this youth standing here today at the pulpit, like about 3 years before. I've been doing this for 3 years. Rue as in regret, because this sermon is not a very happy one. You see, I've been working on this for a while, trying to figure out what to say. The socio-political climate in America, especially in Tennessee, has been very, very drastic, and it's getting more and more concerning as time goes on. And I know it's been a slow pot to boil, but I'm invested in this. So y'all are along for the ride. Let me first address what's going on. For the past few months in Tennessee, as you may know, we have been facing legislature that aims to ban drag shows in an effort to suppress the queer community, as well as efforts to ban hormone replacement therapy and gender-affirmative care for anyone under the age of 18. If these bills come to pass, then the next acts will try to ban transgender people entirely, get rid of queer people, my people, completely. Generally speaking, I realized I was trans when I was in 7th grade. I got top surgery last year. Hooray! And that was that. I don't plan on using hormone replacement therapy, HRT. Now, that's just me, but hundreds of thousands of trans youth in our country and other folks are on hormone therapy for a variety of reasons. And yet, this bill, this law, SB 0001, aims to criminalize all gender-affirmative care for minors in Tennessee. Now, where did that come from? To me, even knowing these events, it's like these anti-trans laws have just come out of nowhere. Just 2 years ago, the only concern I had was what bathroom I could use and whether or not I could join the football team. In fact, the greater reaction from both the media and the government makes me think that, honestly, we'd be better off unknown, unspoken of. Being transgender would be one of those identities that no one acknowledges as real. So shunted to the side, it's a legitimate surprise when you meet someone who identifies as it. And isn't that the most horrible thing? To choose a life of utter darkness, living in the shadow of it all, rather than to brave the light of this no man's land? I would rather be unknown than seen like this. Do you understand how powerful that is? To wish a term into nothingness? To want to become that nothingness? The media is obsessed with calling me butchered, calling my parents abusers for daring to love me the way that I am. I have been living in this little personal hell for the past few months, watching bills and laws pass through the House and committee that plan on erasing me, watching games develop that spread messages of hate both to me and to our Jewish and Muslim siblings, watching more and more Black and indigenous people of color be persecuted and killed over nothing. I think the worst part of it all is how young I am. I turned 18 last week. Did you know that? And yet, here we are. There's a war in Europe. There's a plague going around, and I don't even know if my siblings will be getting their hormone treatments next year. Trans people make up nearly 2% of the entire world's population. If you didn't know, that's about the same amount as the amount of redheads in the world. And it's probably a bit hard to tell, but I'm also a redhead. The legislature currently being worked on plans on stopping HRT, gender-affirming care, and all of that for anyone under 18, and criminalizing surgeries, both the surgeon and the parents that are giving permission for these surgeries for minors. And there are 1.6 million people in the US alone who identify as trans. 300,000 of those are youth. These procedures literally saved their lives. I know it saved mine. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we need help. Being an ally is more than just listening. It's more than just sitting here and nodding along as I bare my soul. It's taking action. It's filming police, exercising your First Amendment to protect our BIPOC siblings. It's shunning anti-Semitism, practicing anti-racism. Understanding that to be an ally, one must be more than a bystander, because to be a bystander is to let these injustices pass idly by. It is my neighbor coming across the street to offer emancipation, because it is better to have no parents than to have my parents be persecuted for doing what is right. It is supporting through action, not just inaction, that makes one an ally. As this sermon ends, I want to remind everyone that I appreciate this church. The fact that I can stand here and talk about this means a lot. And in a lot of places, my voice and voices like mine would be thrown out before even being considered. I know that you are all hearing me, and thank the gods for that, to have people who want to listen to others, whether they be of different religion, ethnicity, gender, race, or orientation. I know there are millions who will listen to me. I know there are people who would value what I have to say, and here I have, some 100, 150 of them right here. So go out into the world. Lift up those downtrodden voices. Be the light we all so desperately need. Go to rallies. Call your representatives. If you need more direction on how to do that, please refer to the additional card that you've been given with your order of service. If that doesn't help, that card is about the Trans-Affirming Collective. My mother is in that, right there. Don't let our youth be smothered out.